I'm going to tell you right now about one of the most disgusting abuses of police power that we have seen in a while in terms of an anecdotal individual story. Back on May 20th, I brought you the story of Rebecca Jones from Florida. She is the scientist who used to run the Florida COVID dashboard. And back in May, she was fired, as she put it, because she refused to manipulate the data to make it look better in Florida. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis made the decision in Florida to open up really early before it made sense. And she was told, she claims, to censor data, change other data, make it seem as though the premature opening in Florida was not actually premature. She wasn't willing to do it. She says that's why she was fired. This week, Rebecca Jones's home was raided in a military style raid. We have video of the raid. We're showing it to our television audience. Police burst in shouting, pointing guns. Why were they there at all? Police were serving a search warrant against Rebecca Jones for a suspected computer crime. What is that crime? Well, remember, she says she was fired for refusing to manipulate COVID data. The allegation is that after she was fired and therefore was no longer a Florida state employee, she logged onto the government messaging system, meant only for employees of the state of Florida, to send a message to her coworkers that she was asked to modify the data and is refusing to do so. And for that alleged crime of sending a message, she was on the receiving end of a militarized police raid of her home. Jones, by the way, denies that she even did that. She says, no, I went public. I wrote an op-ed in the Miami Herald. I spoke publicly, but I didn't even do the thing I'm accused of doing. So the immediate suspicion was that this came from the top, that Republican Governor Ron DeSantis was behind all of it. DeSantis has denied involvement. But now the part that's becoming the focus is that the raid was carried out in an obviously absurd way. It's completely indefensible how this was done. Police burst in with weapons as Jones is crying. She's yelling that there's kids in the house, that her husband is in the house. And Jones even says police pointed guns at her kids. Police deny that they pointed guns at her kids. Police are saying, listen, Jones took a while to answer the door. That escalated the level of aggressiveness that we used. And the problem here is that the problem is the paradigm of the raid at all. What is tantamount to a SWAT team showing up because someone is suspected of using an employee-only messaging system to send a message. We can have a bigger debate about if and whether militarized police raids should be used for search warrants at all. But the debate would be confined to people suspected of violent crimes, high-level crimes, people who are believed to be risks of some kind or something else. Almost no one with any semblance of common sense would even say, let's debate whether an alleged crime like this warrants a militarized police search warrant serving. It's ridiculous, and it's the worst of the overuse of police power. Now, the individual level, at the individual level, the officers themselves don't appear to have done anything wrong. Certainly that will be provable in terms of, they pointed guns at my kids. Police say they didn't, unless there's video of that. My point is not to excuse the officers individual, but to explain that they announced themselves. They secured people in the house. They roughly followed protocol in these militarized raids. The problem is that such a raid took place at all. The orders were from whoever decided that this was the suspect and were going in guns blazing. And the problem, of course, is that the decision to execute this in that way was made. That's the problem. And the suspicion, of course, is this was retribution against Rebecca Jones because she refused to falsify COVID data back in May. To say that this is over-policing is not even a strong enough phrase. If we saw this in another country, we would all be saying this is an authoritarian strong-arming of a whistleblower to intimidate them for exposing that very government that went after them. If we saw it elsewhere, that's what we would be saying. Let me know your thoughts. I want to hear from you. I'm on Twitter @DPACman. If you ever feel like you just don't have enough time to read all the books you want to read, you have to check out one of my favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist takes thousands of popular nonfiction books and distills each one down into an ebook or audiobook that you can get through in just 15 minutes, where you're getting all the key takeaways from the book. Just imagine how you'll be able to expand your horizons and knowledge by being able to soak up all of the important insights from 10 different books in an afternoon. Obviously, it's perfect for exposing yourself to a new book you otherwise wouldn't have time for, or you can use it to revisit a book you've already read, or use it to preview a book before you buy the full version and read it. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.